Hello, trading has closed on October 12th, 2021. We always begin with our disclaimer. This is my trading plan for tomorrow, Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. Please trade at your own risk as I can be completely wrong. I was hoping that the early action today would resolve stuff, but I can't really say it did. We closed within 1/4% of yesterday's close. Usually that just delays things for a day. Here's what we said. If we gapped up, we could have a strong rally. We didn't gap up high enough. We didn't gap down at the open either. Closed within 1/4%. I view that as kind of a waiting day. This is the pattern with the early high, and tomorrow's pattern has the early low. During the day, MEJT said this rally was false. Price would retrace. Said this rally was false. Even here it said it was false. We already had the retracement. We now have 2 days, 2 bars under this last TDST line. It's a support. It's a sign of support failing. It tells us lower prices are coming. Doesn't mean they have to come tomorrow, but it does mean rallies should be used to sell because we haven't seen the end of this drop. We gapped up and had an early drop, and after a negative day, we closed over this low. It's actually a positive pattern if it's maintained at tomorrow's open. There's no guarantee it's going to be maintained, and futures are down significantly as I'm recording this. Significance another 1/4%. But if it is maintained, there's hope for a recovery in this down move, which isn't over yet. This is a trend line which we broke without gapping under it. Typically, here's our close. Typically, you return to this line at some point. Doesn't mean you have to return to it tomorrow, but often you will. And even if you do, nothing stops us from declining after that happens, but it gives us a slightly higher target. Of course, this line's dropping, and if we just piddle around here and hit the line by piddling around, that satisfies the prediction as well. I have a couple of equally valid ways to count this down leg. We have your A, we have your B, you're in C. If you look at these magenta counts, you got an A, a B, and a C. We have an ABC with C equal to A. That could be magenta B, and then we could be starting a move down comparable to magenta A. That's the bearish count, but it's not the only count. You can count this as 1, you can count this as 2, and then you can count 5 waves down. This could be 3. It's not exactly equal to twice 1, but it's awfully close. And that's the count that says we've completed a 1, 2, 3, and we're going to get a wave 4 up. If that's the right count, we really should hold this low. The longer we hold this low, the more credence I'd give to this count for a recovery wave. And if this falls, I'm going to think we're in magenta wave C with much lower prices coming right now. I'm always suspicious of these late breaks. We held this support all day long. Right at the end of the day, it breaks. but can't even hold it. It's not the kind of timing one expects if this break is the real thing. But again, we're in a bear phase of the market, and it's hard to go long without more evidence than that. Just be aware this break might not be the real thing. This slow falls, and it probably is. Tomorrow's pattern has the early low. We could still gap up. Support has broken and lower prices should be coming. Today's trend line break didn't begin with a gap under that line, so look for a return to that line at some time. Doesn't mean you won't drop first. Nearly 4 days of decline haven't produced a close under prior lows. Today's drop didn't close under the early low. All this makes a counter trend bounce plausible if today's low holds through tomorrow's open. Now futures are down as I'm writing this, and if that drop's maintained, we should be on the way to much lower price before this decline ends. The best guess I have is we're going to be around 4,200 cash at least. If we get a bear market bounce, I would short it. If we undercut this low, I believe it, but this is one of the areas, not the only areas, in which a bounce, maybe not a great bounce, but a bounce of some sort is entirely possible. And once again, I'm hoping the picture is going to be clearer after tomorrow's opening trade, and that's today's call.